appear to have scored a strike in their battle against the industry giants. They found a way to unlock Sony's handheld games console, the PlayStation Portable, or PSP. The PSP is sold with its own built-in software, which is known as firmware. This controls how the console operates. The firmware locks many of the PSP's capabilities, so enthusiasts can't write their own programs for it. It also prevents the PSP from running pirated games or films. But now, inevitably you might say, hackers have found a way round the locks and controls. David Court, professional programmer, part-time hacker, is among those who've unlocked the PSP. He joins us now from Edinburgh in Scotland. David Court, why did you want to do it?
Well, it's quite simple. I mean, we were just frustrated by the fact that having bought this £200 console, it wasn't possible to do what we wanted with it.
But one of the reasons that these sort of limits are put on is to stop piracy. It's to make sure that you only run games that are legitimately bought and paid for instance.
Indeed, and that's a very important thing to bear in mind. The aim here was definitely not to allow piracy of software. Working as a professional programmer myself, you know, piracy is a thing that's quite dear to my heart. If I was to go around pirating software, then I'm going around pirating from my colleagues.
So you don't see yourself as some sort of modern-day digital pirate, then?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The aim here was just to enable running of legitimate, personally developed software that would basically unlock the capabilities of the machine.
But hang on a minute, this is a machine that Sony have designed and invested lots of money into. Don't they have the right to restrict what you can and can't do on it?
I don't believe they have the right to restrict what you can do with a piece of equipment that you've bought outright. If it was rented from them, then fair enough. But the fact that I've paid £200 for a piece of electrical equipment that I then can only do what they tell me to do with it, that to me was just frustrating.
But what's the difference between that and the sort of agreements you sign when you buy a bit of software?
Well, I think that's the key difference. Where's the agreement on the actual hardware? And if there was an agreement like that, would people agree?
So you've got this machine, you've unlocked it. What is it that you're going to now be able to do that the rest of us who've just got them in their plain ordinary form can't do?
Well, there's a whole wealth of things. I mean, it opens it up to this sort of the bedroom industry of people churning out sorts of games and all sorts of other creative things that they otherwise would not be allowed.
But why not just use a computer then? Because the PSP doesn't even have a keyboard.
That's correct. But then again, most computers aren't as portable. I mean, if you're sitting on a bus, it's nice to be able to pop this thing out of your pocket and just play a simple game on it or something. More than that, of course, there's all sorts of other exciting applications that are opened up. I mean, for instance, there's a guy that's written what's effectively a sat-nav application for the PSP that, you know, it was something that was promised by Sony from the first day of the PSP. It took them about 2 years to come out with this thing. This guy beat them by about a year.
But I guess this is a bit like all the arguments that go on about the free software that you can or can't download from the web. It's sort of about people's intellectual property rights and sort of about what people can and can't do with something they've bought. There are going to be fights like this over and over again, aren't there? Sure.
And I think it's important for the industry to realise that restraining people in this sort of way is something that they're going to object to.